All right, ready to install my vent grill. So for starters, there are two seals that go on this vent here. One, okay, this is, I'll just turned it over. Driver's side. This is driver's side here. So when you put this one on, it interferes with this bump here. So if it goes like this, it sits on that bump and it doesn't push down all the way when you go to screw it down. So I'm putting it just so it's like that. There's a bump here, okay, and then just on the inside edge of this open area here, and like that, okay. But in order to install on the grill like that, it has to be kind of over the top of here. This is the way I'm doing it. It's not the way everyone does it, but so I just kind of chewed away a little bit at the edge, just so that it can sit a little bit on like that. On the other one here, just goes, I just put it right here in line. This on this side is pretty smooth, so it doesn't really matter kind of where it goes, as long as it's in that range. You're good, unless you have, I think if you have AC, I think there might be an issue here, but I don't have AC, so I don't have any cutouts here. But if you have air conditioning, you might have a different different cowl on top there. But anyway, so I've already glued that one on. So I'm just using a generic contact cement, and just a little bit on it, not much. I just been using the tip of a screwdriver, and what I've been doing, and there's enough on the lid. There's more than enough on that lid right there. All right, turn it over, and then I'll take it and I'll just spread it on there and I'll show you. Okay. Hold it in place. This is the same stuff you use for your headliner and anything in general that you have that deals with any type of adhesive foam or anything like that. That works just fine. Okay. And then I'll let that dry, and then we'll work on the install. And then in combination of installing this, you install your windshield washers, okay? These slide up, fold up into the grill, and I'll show you when we go to install. All right, before we install the grill, so we've got our wiper squirters. These are called. So these go. So this is the driver's side. This one goes here. So this is the shorter tube. Again, these are my originals. This is the original tube. So if you're installing this with new tubes, you may have to cut the length that you need. So just set it like that for now. And then this one here goes on the port closest to you. So this port here. So we'll put it in there. That, and then here's our passenger side. Again, my original tube, so they should be the right length. And then go like that. So we'll put that tube in. Fish it behind these wires. Okay. All right. So it does not go in the protector. All right. And then we'll put our grill on. Actually, no, I'm sorry. The directions do call for a little bit of putty. Forgot about this. Okay. Just hold it in place. Right there. And I'll show you on the AIM. Calls for a little bit of putty. Let's see here. Okay, right there. 54. A little bit, oh, it says cement, but I'm going to use a little bit of putty instead. All right, so we'll kind of do this kind of all at once. All right, back to the grill. So now we have our grill seal to put on, so that it goes on the. If you flip it over, you can see where it goes. Okay. Goes along the front here. That's when the hood closes, and it seals between the hood and the cowl. And you can see where it goes in. Okay. Slide around me. Just kind of move it along. It snaps in. I can't do this with 2 hands. Okay, there we go. And it does. You got to push hard, and it kind of, you can feel it kind of snap in a little bit. And then you'll have a little bit of overhang. Try to even it out. All right, so got our seals, gasket. All right, so we'll put this on here, and then when you go put it on, okay, these little tabs here, they kind of twist up, and they tuck up into here, okay, and then they screw down onto that. Okay, see there. So that tab goes up in, and that screws into it, and then the rest of it's underneath. Okay, like that. And then before you tighten anything down, you got to make sure you look in there. Okay, and there's your squirter. Okay, you got to bend it and make sure it's doesn't hit any of these grills. So you got to check that side. So you have to take it on and up a couple times to make sure that those squirts are lined up. So that one's not. Well, yeah, it's in the way. So I got to bend these a couple times, take it on and off, and once you get it aligned, then you can do screw stuff down. All right, once you get it aligned, pretty good, then you screw them into the cowl, and you adjust that one a little bit more. All right, now that you've got it lined up, okay, it's in place, and don't think we've got our caulking in there, and then we'll get our panel adjusted. Got your line up here, get your spacing here, but we'll get our 4 screws. Okay, we'll get these screwed in just a bit. All right, so they're just snug enough, just enough that I can move it, and when I do move it, it stays in place. Okay, so we've got the 1, 2, 3, and 4. I installed my hood today. I did not show the video of it, but it's really simple. You've got the 4 screws here, 4 screws there, and then you got your adjuster knobs, okay, and you've got your body bumpers there and here. All right, and then just adjusting it, I pulled it this way or that way, or hood up or down, forward or back on those 4 points there to get the body to line up. So I think I did a decent job. So for the cowl, okay, you want to get that in place on the hood right. Get our gaps. So let me reopen that and push it up a bit. Just have the hood slightly open and then just enough to reach in there, screw that down, make sure we're lined here and that this gap here is the same that's in the hood. Okay, so let's close the hood. Not too bad. Oh, well, and we're way off here. See, a little low, we're low here, so we can get that to come this way. So let's try it one more time. Okay, that's better. And for the hood itself, it's a little off in the front. It's a little thin here. Not too bad. All right, so I'm gonna lift the hood back up, get the rest of these screws getting tightened down. Now the screws that go into the cowl, they just barely catching on the threads. So I'm just getting them just barely hand tight. All right, all done. So we got our spray nozzle lined up. That one's all lined up. I haven't tried them yet, so maybe once we get them going, one might shoot higher or lower, and that's when we can get a new screwdriver and we can kind of push it down if it's too high and make the adjustments there. But that is a much later date. So let's get this hood closed. All right, guys, all done. So like I said, we've got a gap here. It's too wide, so looks like the front, and then it gets thinner as you go back. Okay, and then this one here, it's too close here. I think it's wider in the back. So my hood itself, the front of it needs to come over just a tad, like a 1/16 of an inch to the passenger side. This means I got to just loosen the bolts and give it a slight jog over, but other than that, it's good. And then back here. Okay, so our grill is in, and then we'll do the wipers at another date. I don't even have windshield in yet, so no reason to do the wipers. And then let me show you the rest of the tubing for the washers. For starters, I picked up a new screen. My pickup screen is completely toast, so I was able to get a hold of a new one. We'll get that on. Here, there we go. Okay, so this is my original cap, original tubing. So when you come from your washer tank from here, the tubing goes up behind the fender with the wire harness, and it comes over and then plugs in to right there. So we'll get that in. All right, there we go. Okay, snap that sucker on. Okay, and then like I said, it goes in behind the fender, comes out here, right, and support, and then plugs right in. That's it. And then here we've got driver's side, passenger side. If you look in there, you can see that caulking that I have in there. Okay, that kind of held it in place, which did pretty good. And that's it, man.